Welcome to the Lowell Area Historical Museums along Main Street, a past and present history of the Lowell business community. To the Lowell Area Historical Museums along Main Street, where we explore the past and present history of the Lowell business community. Today, Tuesday, February 21st, 2023, we are at 106 West Main Street. This building has quite a story to tell. We are not sure of the date that it was built, but it was rebuilt several times. Once after the fire of 1984 and the flood of 1905, where it was swept away and smashed against the railroad trestle downriver. After the Carr and Davis rebuild, it became the home for a woman's hat shop, a tire and battery shop, a thrift shoe repair, and the Lowell Nature Pantry Food Co-op, and the present-day Rookies Sportscards Plus. Today we have the pleasure to be here with Jack Reedy, the current owner. Welcome.
Hi.
Yeah, good to be here
Yeah.
on this wild, crazy game place.
It's full of fun.
We're looking forward to learn a little more about your business. So, when did you take the big step to start Rookies?
My dad and I opened it a little over 30 years ago, 92, April 12th of 1992. My dad, Donald L. Reedy, he was kind of the first realtor in Lowell, did that for probably 30 years. Reedy Realty, Century 21 Reedy Realty.
I was wondering about the Reedy.
Growing up,
okay.
In school, they'd hear my last name Reedy, and it's like, oh, like Reedy Realty? It's funny, because now I'm the Rookies guy, but when I was younger, it was always the real estate connection, He sold out eventually to where Green Ridge is down the street.
Okay.
But that was my dad's business. So he kind of had sold out to them and was still kind of selling real estate, but I'd gotten him into cards. I'd gotten him into sport cards a couple years previous, and that was more where he was having fun. Yeah. And he was, instead of selling houses, he was meeting people and trading sport cards, selling cards.
And then how did you get into the more game end too?
That came later. So he opened up he already owned the building, and a couple businesses had come and gone. I think the last one was maybe J&J Variety or some kind of a store like that. Yeah. So he had the building. So he opened up with these original cases here, jeweler cases, and that was about it.
Just basically sports cards.
Sport cards, yeah.
And then you brought the kid out.
And then, I was just out of college, looking for a job, but I'll help Dad out,
Well, college was always a great place to have game boards. We played Risk when we were in college.
Oh, yeah.
Risk was our big game.
Yeah.
We played Risk.
Well, and comics was my thing.
Yeah.
I always loved comics. I loved games, and the cards. Star Wars cards got me into it back when I was younger. Yeah. But we did this together for like 12 years, so started with sport cards. I like comics, so I'm asking Dad, what if we sold comics? Well, if you think you could sell them, keep track, and we'll kind of grow it. So we kind of grew that. Yeah. Early on, that was kind of when Magic and Pokemon, the card game, started. Yeah. And we started selling those. So that's how gaming kind of got its foot in the door. So then that led to other card games and the board games, which are huge these days.
Yeah. So how would you describe your business? I mean, when you look around here, which we will a little later, I mean,
it's
like,
just all fun stuff, all kind of, social fun stuff in this digital age.
and what I like about it too is looking at your Facebook page. It's for all ages too. It isn't
for
just
sure.
kids.
For
if
sure.
you look at his Facebook pages, there's all kinds of people who are coming to have fun.
Oh, I got retirees that come in that are regulars, little young kids. Usually Pokemon is kind of the gateway for them to come into Rookies, and then they graduate to other things in here.
Yeah.
But it's I mean, sport cards, comic books, and games. That's kind of the three, which is kind of an unusual combo. I'm not sure of another store around that has those three. Maybe two of the three. You have a comic and a game store, or a sport card and a game store, but kind of unusual to have all three.
The other question I was going to ask you, what makes it so unique? But we've kind of already covered that because, but maybe you want to add a little bit. I mean, it's for all ages. It's comics,
and we trade. I buy and trade. From the kids with their Pokemon cards, little dollar cards, on up to pretty substantial sets, sport cards and comic books and stuff. And we do game nights.
I was going to ask you, do you have a game night?
We sponsor. We haven't done one at Big Boiler, but we've done them at Big Boiler. Call it Grown Up Game Night. You can have a drink and whatever.
Okay. I saw that. Okay.
But since COVID, it seems like there've been staffing issues and stuff. But every month down at the church, United Methodist Church, Pastor Brad loves games.
Does he?
So I'm working him. So we get together. We'll get upwards of 40 people some days, all ages, playing board games.
Yeah. So why did you decide to start a business in Lowell? Obviously, you have the Lowell connection.
Yeah,
probably.
we grew up in Lowell. I mean, I grew up in Lowell. I'm kind of I'm the youngest, the baby, the youngest of three boys. And I went all the way through Lowell, graduated in '87.
Were you a West Sider or an East Sider?
A West Sider or an East Sider? God, we lived out in Alto for a while.
Okay.
Lived up in Grindle when I was real young.
So you had
Kissing Rock. Moved all around Lowell.
Right. So you got a taste of all.
Yeah. Never considered leaving Lowell.
Do you know anything about the previous owners?
Not really.
Not much.
I mean, like I say, we've been here almost 31 years. So who owned it before my dad? I have no idea. I think it was like a jewelry store.
Yeah,
you mentioned a shoe store.
Nature Food Pantry Co-op supposedly was kind of the last one that came in here
I
before
vaguely remember that, but they
Yeah.
might have rented from. I think my dad may had the building, still owned it still. Had to have been a shoe store because I remember early on I'd get some older guys looking to fix their shoes. I'm like, what,
Any unique features to the building other than the pillars and all the?
Yeah, we're on stilts. We don't have a basement.
Which is shaky here.
It's precarious when you look under there. A few years ago, I kind of invested quite a bit in structural stuff, just reinforcing stuff and shoring stuff up, so it's good.
Now, do you have any problem? I've heard there's a problem with freezing the pipes and stuff.
That's always a problem.
That's here because you're so open underneath.
Because you've got going from the ground to the building is very hard to keep it. When it gets really cold, to keep it from freezing.
What are your future plans?
Oh my!
We kind of talked about that. The game night.
Game night. Yeah, we do free comic book day. We're kind of known for that for Lafayette. That's where people dress up out front. A lot of people know us for that. They drive by and see all the superheroes. We do that, first Saturday in May every year. We've done that for years and years. Future plans? Oh my gosh. People always say I should grow, but if I was a younger man, maybe. But I'm not looking to grow. I'm as busy as I can be right now.
Well, you're happy. It's
yeah,
nice. Got a good.
We're open 7 days a week. I got a couple guys that kind of help me here and there. Part
We got
time.
good clientele come in, and
a lot of regulars.
I know my son spends some time in here because every time we go up to the cabin, he always brings 2 or 3 bags of games that he's purchased here, and we always have game nights up there. And we've had a lot.
Particularly around the holidays, I see a lot of people come back to Lowell.
Yeah.
Not everybody stays in Lowell, it turns out. I mean, I did, but I see a lot of people that come back, and sometimes I can kind of place them, but they're older now. Little kids turn into adults.
Yeah. So.
But it's nice to see people come back, and I've had customers since we opened 30 years ago that still come in. that are regulars.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you're kind of anchor of this side of the street too. I mean, you've been here 30 years now,
Yeah.
and this side of the street, for some reason,
It's been a struggle. I know. I mean, Roger had modern photography for years before we were here.
I forgot about
But
that.
he retired, sold the building. A young guy, his name escapes me now, and he had modern photography for a couple years, but then the recession hit and kind of hurt him.
I mean, you're other than King Milling Company, you have
Yeah, I
probably
mean
been
that,
the-
or the Five a Dime across
yeah,
the street.
You've
You know,
been
they
the
were there for a
longest
long
people
time.
on base,
But-
especially on the south side of Main Street. Here.
But we've made it through the recession,
Yeah.
which was rough.
Pandemic.
The bridge project.
Oh, that's
There was a
right.
point you had to
That's-
walk
that's
a
right.
plank to get to the store.
I forgot about
If I was a convenience store, I wouldn't have made it. But I'm unusual enough.
Yeah.
I feel like people are already coming
Yeah.
from a distance, so to walk a plank,
people-
that's nothing.
those people-
It's an adventure.
Yeah, those people are right. They're full of
Yeah,
energy.
yeah.
Walking
They're
the
already
plank
coming
is
from
like-
Greenville or wherever,
It's like one of the adventure games they get
Yeah,
by in.
yeah,
so,
yeah.
yeah.
So in the pandemic, that was interesting, But yeah, we just keep trucking it along.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome. Well, we would like to thank Jack for sharing the time with us today, and we look forward to seeing his continued success here at Rookies Sportscards Plus. Make sure, as I mentioned earlier, that you visit his Facebook page because you will enjoy how he makes fun for everybody here at Rookies. So, reminder, our Lowell Area Historical Museum is open Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 1 to 4. And you can visit our website, lowellmuseum.org, to enjoy more along Main Street stories, as well as oral history project interviews with Lowell community members. See you along Main Street. Cheers.
Bye. So you want to know a couple of my favorite games? Is that what we're doing?
Yes, I do.
All right. So one is The Crew. So it's a cooperative trick-taking game. So if you play hearts or euchre or something like that, you know how to, like a traditional card game, but you're working together. And they give you 50 missions. Usually it's a certain person has to get a certain trick. You have to get a certain card, but you have to work together to do it. And you kind of work through these missions. They get harder and harder. Super fun. Super addicting. You play for 5 minutes or a couple hours. My wife will play this all night if I let her. She loves it too.
I may buy that one.
So yeah, The Crew is excellent. And now more of a board game, Wingspan. This has been a big hit the last few years. I don't know if you can show the back. Super cute. The theme. There's bird cards. There's eggs. The dice feeder is food, worms and whatnot. And there's tons of birds. They have little abilities. You kind of place the birds on the board, and you get different point benefits. Super, super fun little game. It's like 1 to 5 players, 1 to 4 players. And then they have expansions. But yeah, that's a good game. If you like board games, you want a fun board game, Wingspan. So that's my 2 picks right now.
Here are Jack's favorite comic.
All right, yeah, a couple favorites of mine. So this is a longtime favorite. People are going to know this one, The Walking Dead.
Oh, of course.
So there's the TV show, which was a huge hit. I kind of fell out of the TV show. It's not as good as the comic. The comic is excellent. It's good drama. Not so much about the zombies, just about the world that living in that kind of a world. And it's not all sweet. But that's an excellent comic book.
You think it's better than Last of Us, the big...
Now, Last of Us as a show is definitely better. Yeah, Last of Us is excellent.
Really good. I've been watching that.
Yeah. I mean, they are in a similar vein. I would say The Walking Dead, the TV show, is like a C show. Yeah. The comic book is an A. Yeah. I mean, it's the best. It's among the best. And then a favorite character is, of course, superhero in comic books. Always have loved Spider-Man. Always have loved Batman. Those have always been my longtime favorites. So here's a recent a Batman comic I really like. White Knight, it's called. And the plot is basically Joker is kind of cured. So he's not insane. He's kind of the good guy. And he kind of presents a case that Batman's bad for Batman. Or Batman is bad for Gotham. And it's pretty interesting. The same guy writes it and draws it, and he's a great writer and a great artist.
So would you call these more graphic
So,
novels?
and this is a great, yeah, it was originally like a monthly comic, and they've collected it into, yeah, a graphic novel.
So this is a graphic.
It's just a
these are more graphic
Yeah,
novels
yeah.
than
So it's
comic.
more mature. We don't call them
Okay.
comic books
All
then.
right.
It's a graphic
All right.
novel for adults. But yeah, there's a couple favorites. This is a super popular one with young kids. Sonic the Hedgehog. It's the old video game. It's still around as a video game, but I remember playing this freaking 30 years ago, you know?
Yeah.
But that's a very popular thing. Of course, they've done movies. I haven't seen the live action movies, but popular comic. They do Scooby-Doo comics, and there's currently a Batman Scooby-Doo team up, and the kids like that one. And of course, Minecraft is big with kids, and they do different Minecraft comics. And then game-wise, I mean, Pokemon cards for kids. I mean, it's got to catch them all, and they try to.
We got one more rookie special here, and Jack's going to tell us about the wooden nickels.
How did we get this far and not talk about that, huh? We have done this for years. So the wooden nickel, it's kind of an old-fashioned idea. Every $10 you spend in the store, you get a wooden nickel. Collect 10 of those, and it's worth $5 credit. Most people, they got their 10, they're bringing them in, but I have had people save up a couple hundred of them, bring them all at once. And then the record was last year on our 30th anniversary, I had a customer bring in over 3,000 wooden nickels. It took him, we figured, over 10 years to save up. So he had $1,500 worth of store credit. Ouch! But obviously an excellent customer, you know. So he earned all the stuff he got. But yeah, it's kind of fun, you know. So you see these around town. There's a lot of these in circulation.
We talked earlier about, I'm a teacher, a third grade teacher, and we used to trade Pokemon cards when they first came out in 92, right, Jack?
Something like that, yeah. Early
92.
90s, yeah.
So I asked him if he's got any old Pokemon cards that are actually worth something, because I threw away a whole bunch. I probably could have been a
Yeah,
millionaire. maybe.
yeah, right.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, first of all, props as a teacher for not banning them. I think that's the wrong way to deal with it. Like, they're enthusiastic about something, use it. Use that.
right.
You said you'd give them,
Yeah,
5
at the
minutes
end of-
after
yeah,
class to
yeah,
trade
yeah.
if they got everything done. That's
I
that's a
love
way
it.
to do it.
I
Leverage
love
it, man.
I love
You
it.
ban it, and it's just gonna be a black market, and they want them even more.
That's right.
But yeah, a couple big ones. Here's some older ones. These are from the '90s. This is the original Blastoise card, and we got a Dark Charizard. So those are a couple big ones. I mean, they're over 100. I don't know exactly how much. You know, depends on their condition.
So don't throw away those shoeboxes.
And don't
of
throw
cards.
away. Don't throw away your comics, moms. Well, I had a lady in yesterday. She used to bring her son in to get cards, I think. And so he's been moved out of the house for 7 years. She's begged him to come get his stuff. And if he doesn't, she's going to toss him out. And I said, well, you know what happens then. Now you're the villain. You're the mom that tossed out the valuable cards. So don't let your parents do that. If they tell you to move your stuff out, get it out of there, you know? But yeah, don't throw it away.
Well, once again, thank you, Jack, for a fun-filled time here at Rookies Sportscards Plus. And make sure you come and check it out, folks, because if you haven't, I think before I leave today, I'm going to buy that crew game. Is it
Crew, yeah,
game?
you want the Crew.
I think I'm going to buy
Yeah.
that for the cabin. So, thanks. We'll see you along Main Street. Cheers.
Yes, I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. Leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. And if I ever lose my hands, lose my plow, lose my land, oh, if I ever lose my hands, oh, I won't have to work no more. And if I ever lose my eyes, if my colors all run dry, yes, if I ever lose my eyes, oh, I won't have to cry no more. Yes, I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. Leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. And if I ever lose my legs, I won't moan and I won't beg. Oh, if I ever lose my legs, oh, won't have to walk no more. And if I ever lose my mouth, all my teeth, north and south, yes, if I ever lose my mouth, oh, I won't have to talk. Did it take long to find me? I asked the faithful light. Oh, did it take long to find me? And are you gonna stay the night? I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow, leaping